Most people think investing begins with money. They believe the first step is opening an account, selecting investments, studying markets, or finding the perfect opportunity. But the truth is that investing begins much earlier than that. Long before your first dollar enters the market, there is something you must understand. Without this understanding, even the best investments can fail to produce the results you hope for. The first thing you must understand before investing your money is that investing is not a shortcut to wealth. It is a process of building wealth slowly over time. This may sound obvious, but it contradicts the expectations many people carry into the market. New investors often imagine rapid growth. They hear stories about individuals who multiplied their money quickly. They see headlines about stocks that soared hundreds of %. They watch videos promising financial freedom through a few smart decisions. As a result, they enter investing with unrealistic expectations. The problem is not that extraordinary success stories are impossible. The problem is that they are rare. Most successful investors do not become wealthy because of one brilliant decision. They become wealthy because they consistently followed sound principles for years, and sometimes decades. This difference is important because expectations shape behavior. If you believe investing should create fast results, you will become frustrated when progress appears slow. You will be tempted to chase trends. You will abandon strategies prematurely. You will constantly search for something better. But if you understand that investing is a long-term process, temporary setbacks become easier to tolerate. Patience becomes easier to maintain. Consistency becomes more natural. Another critical lesson is understanding the difference between saving and investing. Many people confuse the two. Saving is designed to preserve money. Investing is designed to grow money. Savings provide security. Investments provide opportunity. Both are important, but they serve different purposes. Before investing, you must recognize that investments involve uncertainty. Markets rise and fall. Prices fluctuate. Temporary losses occur. This is not evidence that investing is broken. It is part of the process itself. Investors who fail to understand this often panic during normal market declines. They expect stability. They encounter volatility. Fear replaces confidence, and they make emotional decisions that damage long-term results. Successful investors accept uncertainty before they invest their first dollar. They understand that short-term fluctuations are unavoidable. They recognize that risk and opportunity are connected. Without risk, meaningful growth becomes difficult. This does not mean taking reckless chances. It means accepting that temporary discomfort is often the price of long-term progress. Another concept many people overlook is the importance of time. Most investors focus on returns. Experienced investors focus on time. Returns matter, but time determines how powerful those returns become. A modest return sustained over decades can create extraordinary results. A high return achieved briefly may create far less wealth. Time allows compounding to operate. Compounding occurs when investment gains begin generating additional gains. At first, the effect appears small. Then it grows. Eventually, growth begins building upon itself. This process is responsible for much of the wealth created through investing. Yet compounding has one strict requirement. It needs time. The earlier investing begins, the more powerful compounding becomes. This is why waiting for the perfect moment often becomes an expensive mistake. Many people postpone investing while waiting for better conditions. They wait for higher income. They wait for lower risk. They wait for more confidence. They wait for certainty. Years pass. Opportunities disappear. The perfect moment never arrives. Successful investors understand that starting imperfectly is often better than waiting endlessly. Another thing you must understand before investing is that behavior matters more than most people realize. Many individuals assume investment success depends primarily on intelligence. They believe successful investors possess superior knowledge. While knowledge is valuable, behavior often matters more. The ability to remain patient, the ability to stay consistent, the ability to avoid emotional decisions, the ability to continue investing during uncertainty. These traits frequently determine outcomes more than technical expertise. Markets reward discipline, and discipline is a behavioral skill. This is why two people with access to the same information can achieve dramatically different results. One follows a long-term plan, the other reacts emotionally. Years later, their outcomes may look completely different. Not because of information, because of behavior. Before investing your money, you must also understand that ownership creates wealth. Most people spend their lives exchanging time for money. Investing introduces a different possibility: ownership, When you own productive assets, your money begins working alongside you. The goal is not simply to earn money. The goal is to own assets capable of generating future value. This shift in perspective changes everything. You stop seeing investing as a gamble. You begin seeing it as participation in long-term growth. And that understanding becomes the foundation upon which successful investing is built. There is another important truth every investor must understand before investing money. The market does not exist to make you comfortable. Many people enter investing expecting a smooth experience. They imagine steady growth, predictable progress, and clear signs that they are moving in the right direction. Reality is often very different. Markets move in cycles. Periods of optimism are followed by periods of fear. Growth is followed by decline. Confidence is followed by uncertainty. These cycles have existed for generations and will continue existing long after today's investors are gone. Understanding this reality beforehand can prevent countless mistakes. When investors expect volatility, they are less likely to panic when volatility arrives. When they understand that temporary declines are normal, they are less likely to abandon long-term plans. The problem is that most people prepare financially before investing but fail to prepare emotionally. They learn about stocks, they learn about funds, they learn about returns, but they rarely learn how to manage fear. And fear has destroyed more investment portfolios than market declines ever could. One of the biggest mistakes new investors make is assuming that success comes from predicting the future. They believe successful investors know exactly what will happen next. They imagine experts can consistently forecast market movements, economic changes, and future winners. In reality, uncertainty is permanent. No one knows exactly what markets will do next month, next year, or even next week. The investors who succeed are often not the ones who predict the future most accurately. They are the ones who prepare for multiple possible futures. Instead of relying on certainty, they rely on principles. Instead of relying on predictions, they rely on discipline. This distinction is incredibly important. Predictions can fail. Discipline can continue working. Another lesson you must understand before investing is that diversification is not exciting, but it is powerful. Many people want concentrated opportunities. They want the investment that will dramatically outperform everything else. The problem is that concentration increases both potential reward and potential risk. Diversification works differently. It accepts that not every investment will succeed. It spreads risk across multiple opportunities. It reduces dependence on any single outcome. Although diversification may appear less exciting, it often creates a smoother and more sustainable path toward long-term wealth. Successful investing is rarely about maximizing excitement. It is about maximizing probability. Another reality investors must accept is that mistakes are unavoidable. Every investor makes them. Every professional makes them. Every experienced market participant has made decisions they later regretted. The goal is not perfection. The goal is survival. Investors who expect perfection become discouraged by mistakes. Investors who expect mistakes learn from them. This mindset allows progress to continue. The market rewards those who remain engaged long enough to improve. It cannot reward those who quit after encountering inevitable setbacks. You must also understand the difference between price and value. People often assume that something expensive must be valuable. They assume that something cheap must be a bargain. Markets do not work that way. A high price does not guarantee quality. A low price does not guarantee opportunity. Successful investing requires looking beyond price alone. It requires understanding the value being purchased. This principle becomes increasingly important as portfolios grow. Another overlooked lesson involves personal responsibility. Many investors spend enormous amounts of time searching for external answers. They follow experts. They follow influencers. They follow headlines. They follow predictions. While learning from others is useful, no one cares about your financial future as much as you do. Ultimately, responsibility belongs to the investor. The willingness to learn, the willingness to remain disciplined, the willingness to continue improving. These qualities create advantages that no market prediction can replace. Perhaps the most important thing you must understand before investing your money is that wealth creation is often surprisingly ordinary. The financial world frequently promotes excitement. It celebrates dramatic gains. It highlights extraordinary stories. It focuses on unusual outcomes. Yet most lasting wealth is created through simple principles applied consistently. Regular contributions, long-term thinking, diversification, patience, discipline, time. These concepts are not exciting, but they are powerful. The investors who eventually achieve financial independence are often not the smartest people in the market. They are often the most consistent. They continue investing when enthusiasm disappears. They continue learning when results seem slow. They continue following their plan when uncertainty increases. This consistency creates momentum. Momentum strengthens compounding. Compounding creates growth. Growth creates wealth. And wealth creates freedom. Before you invest your first dollar, understand this. Investing is not a competition. It is not a race. It is not a search for quick riches. It is a long-term partnership between discipline and time. The market will test your patience. It will test your emotions. It will test your confidence. But if you enter investing with realistic expectations and a commitment to consistency, you place yourself in a position that many people never reach. Because the greatest advantage in investing is not secret knowledge. It is not perfect timing. It is not extraordinary intelligence. The greatest advantage is understanding what investing truly is before you begin. And once you understand that wealth is built through patience, ownership, discipline, and time, you stop searching for shortcuts and start building something far more valuable, a financial future capable of growing stronger year after year, decade after decade, regardless of temporary market noise. That understanding is where successful investing truly begins.